Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. So this is the first reading that I am recording post No King's March. And I hope you guys all had a wonderful time. And we had a great time. It rained where we were. But we still showed up, blue dot, red state. And it was a great turnout. We had a wonderful time. We were out probably 3-4 hours before it actually started raining. I'm like really pouring down to where, and the thunder and the lightning. And so we're like, okay, well, we've been out here, as I said, 3-4 hours. So we decided to pack up, and so much overwhelming support from the cars that drove by. I mean, like, I would say of all the cars that drove by, there was maybe 3 that were pro-Trump, and there were well more people that honked and waved in support than not. I mean, like, seriously, if there was even 10% that didn't wave or honk in support, I would be surprised. I mean, it was overwhelming. Okay, so a little glimpse here into a very red area is very pro-democracy, so that was good to see. What I want to do with this reading is I want to look at, like, where do we go next with the resistance? I also want to look at the big feels that apparently they're having there in this administration. That video that Trump posted, is that not a Freudian slip? I mean, if that isn't exactly what he's doing to the American people right now, it just couldn't be any more clear than that. It's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. And they're afraid. Did you see little maggot Mike and his tiny Johnson had to go out and say, "Oh well, I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't. This. I don't know what they thought it was going to be, but the hate America and all the nonsense, and it was going to be all this domestic terrorism, and like New York didn't even have one arrest. Any arrest that happened any place throughout the United States was all MAGA instigators." Which we knew that. So yeah, they're going to have to be sitting there going, oh shit. And I really do get that feeling of they're going, oh shit, like, we're not going to be stopped. We're not going to be deterred. And, now the Democratic messaging, have you noticed, is coming out is, all you fuckers are going to go to jail for life. And I love that so much for them. So yeah, I think that they're probably starting to have some big truths, realizing that, oh shit. So what I want to do with this reading is I think I want to look first into what the administration is thinking now, and then I want to look into where the resistance goes from there. Okay. So as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. What is it that this administration is feeling with what they saw on Saturday? What are they feeling? What is it that they're thinking about what they saw on Saturday? The administration. Okay, I always just want to make sure, for entertainment purposes only, from the viewpoint of the administration. The World card. I think this is a card, this is the last card in the Major Arcana, and it's one of you've arrived. In its higher energy, it's like you've achieved everything that you wanted to achieve. In the lower energy, it's the you're done. You've accomplished all that you're going to accomplish, and now it's time for you to move on to a better place. Okay, that's what this is. I think that they're seeing the writing on the wall. Okay, and I will say, Trader Green, Marjorie. I have to actually think about how to say her name. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's independently wealthy. She's paid for her own polling. And that's why she's starting to make sense, is because she sees the writing on the wall. She knows which way the tide is turning, and she's trying to save her own ass, which, okay, fine, we'll take it. So anytime you think that you're agreeing with Taylor Greene, just wait 2 seconds, and then she will post the most unhinged thing that you've ever seen. And you're like, okay, there she is. There's the Trader Green we know and love so much. But when she's making sense, realize she sees the writing on the wall. Okay, they've lost Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just sit with that for a minute. They've lost Marjorie Taylor Greene. They've lost the influencers. They're losing the American people. And when those SNAP benefits don't go out at the 1st of November, TikTok. Those constituents are not going to be happy at all. So let's see what else comes out. I love this so much for this administration. And then the challenge to them is the courts. Lady Justice. Justice is coming to town. And I love that. I just noticed like the blue here. The Democrats that are, we're holding the line and, we're the resistance and we are the challenge to them. That, Lady Justice. Holding them to account. So the challenge for this administration is being held to account in the courts, being held responsible. Also, I don't know if you can see this in this card. Those are butterflies on her cape here, and that's transformation. What's coming in? Trump is fucking Satan. I love South Park so much for that. It's like, thank you guys so much for giving us that. So Trump is fucking Satan. This is also the 7 deadly sins, and that they have chained themselves to just this toxicity, and that they will not be, here's freedom, but yet here they are, and this is what they've chained themselves to this. This is the choices that they have made, and they are going to reap all of the consequences of those choices. The foundation, I wonder, this is the Chariot. I wonder how many of them are starting to make those plans to flee. It's like, it's not an accident that Trump is dumping all that money into Argentina. That that's where a lot of the Nazis went after World War II was Argentina. So I'm wondering if that's not them, how are we? And really, this is a going forward card. And they're like, oh shit, how are we going to go forward? Because, we're done. Lady Justice is coming for us, and all the ways that we've broken the law. The fighting that's going on, the bickering, they're not even on the same page with what they're doing. I mean, this is like disarray. And here they are. In that one reading that I did about, Eric Swalwell said that, he had about 100 Republicans ready to flip. And I had asked, are there actually those Republicans ready to flip? And this was like the first card that came up. And it was like, yeah, they are ready to turn their backs on this known. It's like they've milked that cow for all the milk that it's got. And so now they're going to have the courage and the strength to turn their back and to go into the unknown. The other thing is that this is, let me look here. There is, in this, I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to get the glare off this. This right here is water. And so here's the ground, here's the water, and here they're leaving. I wonder if this isn't some of them going to be fleeing, like they're flying to other countries, like, Argentina. You've got this here, fleeing the country. And if they're not fleeing the country, they're definitely turning their back and going into a new direction. Like they're losing even MAGA support. And we see that with Taylor Greene there. So this is so from the administration's point of view, they see the writing on the wall and they're making their plans to like, how the hell are we going to get out of here? Because it's over. I mean, and as an yes, I'm intuitive, and I'm feeling this like from them, like they know it's over. And now it's just going to take a little bit, probably a few weeks for that to really start breaking through, for us to be seeing that. So kind of just take a step back. Let's look at the big picture here just for a moment. We've had the No Kings protests and marches, which peaceful. The only people that were arrested were, MAGA instigators. The largest protest in American history. Then you have the polling that comes out. He's underwater everywhere. And then you have all of this fear-mongering didn't work. They tried to fearmonger to keep people home, and we came out in the masses. And they realized there's nothing that they can do to stop the will of the American people. They've lost. And now so I think that there's a lot of discussions going on just what we're going to do. Expect more of this posturing. I mean, they're not going to back down. They're going to be good little soldiers there on, Fox News and everything. But the writing's on the wall, and they know this. Okay. So from the point of view of the resistance, what is it that we can expect next for us? What is it that we are going to do next? What's coming up next for the resistance? Okay, and with that, we the people. In the reading, okay, for a while now, I always read this card as it's the government, it's our institutions, it's like those societal institutions, those pillars of society, the religious institutions, school institutions, government institutions, but it's the spirit of those institutions. And so with the reading that I did, where it's like I really do see like we the people, it was the Insurrection Act versus we the people. I'm going to start seeing this more as we the people. We are the spirit of this government. We are the spirit of our Constitution. And so for the resistance, we the people, and continuing to embrace our power. Okay. And the challenge to that is this is the lies and the deception of this administration. I'm also feeling like in its more positive energy, in the higher energy, it's one of possibilities. So the challenge is going to be like, it's almost like this feeling of which direction do we go? What is it that we do? How is it that we can encompass a lot of groups under one message? It's kind of like that kind of thing. If you notice that with a lot of actually all of them, like the hands off, there was a lot of like hands off, and it encompassed a lot of different messaging to get like more people to come to this tent of resistance. No kings, celebrate democracy. Like it was a message that encompassed a lot of different groups that people could get behind that message. And I'm feeling like with the resistance, like this is that next step. Like, okay, what are we going to do next? How are we going to keep that momentum going? What are our next steps? I'm feeling like with winter coming, the bigger marches are going to be a little bit more difficult, and I feel like they're going to be more localized. Like San Francisco, you guys are getting ready to do a whole bunch of protesting. I have a feeling if he tries to send the military in, like what he's threatening to do. I get my there. Okay. I have where I do the readings, I do them in my dining room, and we have like a skylight right above. And so when it gets cloudy, it's like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's a little dark because that's not letting a lot of light in. Just in case you're wondering, it's like that's what that is. So yeah, this is where the resistance is now. Like, where do we put our efforts with our messaging to encompass as many people as we can? Okay, that's what I'm feeling with that. Let me pull this down here. And our message. This is also, when you guys see this reading, I'm recording it on Monday, and I know Virginia Guffrey's book comes out like on Tuesday when you're seeing this reading. So I'm wondering if some of this isn't like with the resistance, like while they're trying to decide like, okay, what are our next steps? The Epstein evidence starts coming out. And yeah, here's our messaging. Let me think about that for a second, because this is all about messaging. Like, what's our next thing that we're going to be doing? Sword of Truth. Page of Pentacles. Pages are messages. Pentacles. Oh, okay. Financial. Okay, that's what that is. Okay. I think that the next, like they're trying to decide kind of the economic decisions. Like, how can we have change by using like the economic pressure? That's because with winter coming up, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to, like have the masses. I mean, the million, women's march that happened in January. So, I mean, we will still protest. We will still be out there marching. But this is like changing more to more of an economic type messaging is kind of what I'm getting with that. I know that when you see this Tuesday, Indivisible, and I don't know if 5051 is part of it. I'm sure they're doing their thing too. They're having their post-March kind of debriefing tonight. I think it's 7 o'clock Central Time. But we're starting to watch some of those videos now as well. I watched a civil disobedience video put on by the Women's March last week. I don't know that we're going to get there. I think that the Epstein Files stuff is going to happen first. However, it's always good to have that as a plan. Okay, so if you feel led, and even if you don't plan on participating, watching those videos so that you kind of know what's going on. That's kind of where I'm feeling these next steps are going. Is more of the messaging and that economic impact that the resistance can have. Okay. So that's where it's going for that. So the administration is scared shitless, and the resistance isn't backing down. Let's see. I do want to look into San Francisco specifically here real quick. What time? Oh, yeah, I've got time. San Francisco. I want to look at you guys for the military being threatened to be deployed in San Francisco. What is that looking like for you guys? Okay, and with that, yeah, I think that, and I just got that in the same, like, they're done. So, and the challenge to them wanting to do this is the people from San Francisco. It's almost like if you thought Portland was joyful, just wait until you see what San Francisco does. And that they're going to it's like their love and joy is going to put an end to just the insanity that's coming out of this administration. I don't know that they're going to do it. If they do, man, it's not, they're trying to decide if they even want to do this. They're talking about it, but I'm not actually seeing any action. I wonder, will the courts be able to stop it first? Will the courts be stopping this? Because I tell you what, that Ninth Circuit, that one judge, you will not use, the rulings are almost sounding like they are Dr. Seuss books. You will not use the military here. You will not use it there. You will not use the California National Guard. You will not use the Texas National Guard. You will not. So will the courts stop this in San Francisco? Mad King Don and the courts. Yeah. Yes, the courts are going to stop him. Yeah, the people, and in my Morgan Greer deck, this is the Orange Beast. The lion is much more orange looking in that deck than it is in this deck. So it's like controlling the Orange Beast, and that the courts are going to put a stop to this. So yeah, you guys. In San Francisco, I get that you guys are going to put on the biggest world party that we have ever seen. Like it, you guys have taken your cues from Portland, and you're going to take it to the next level. So that is what the people are doing to stop this. In the meantime, the courts are absolutely going to be shutting him down. So yeah, that's what's going on there in San Francisco. You guys are going to be just fine. Okay. I do not want the military to be in your city. I really don't. But I do want to see the joyous raucous party that you guys are going to throw. So yeah, I think that'll be something to watch for. But I really do think that the courts are going to shut them down. So yay, good for them. I think the rest of this, I kind of have some other things, like Pritzker is saying that they're going to start they're going to start arresting ICE agents at the state level, and and then the Democrats' new messaging. You fuckers are going to be going to jail for life. I'm going to put that into another reading because I kind of want to keep this one to, I'm coming up on 20 minutes. So really appreciate you being here. I am going to put the Adelaida Grijalva video here. There was some really good information that came out of that one. If you haven't seen it, or even if you have seen it, I go week by week, and her being sworn in really coincides very well with the government shutdown. I asked that in there. So if that's one that you've seen, or you might want to check that one out again, or if you haven't seen it, really highly recommend that you guys watch that one. Also, we're coming up on the energy readings for this week, and so I'm going to put that in there. This is the week of the Epstein files, like, Virginia Guffrey's book is coming out, so I'm expecting like big something with that this week. And that really I was kind of having a hard time even getting this. I tried recording this reading several times because I was getting more about that than I was about this. It was like, oh yeah, the resistance is fine, the government's terrified, and you need to know about the files coming out. So that's going to be that basic. I just summarized the other reading that I've been trying to do. So yeah, expect this week to be all about that book. I mean, we're going to be getting a lot of details out of that book. So thank you for joining me. Share, like, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.